guys, it is Brie here, and today I am doing the One Direction tag. Now this tag has 69 questions, so let's get into it. So, first question. When did you first start liking One Direction? I started liking One Direction about the end of November, start of December in 2011. You have a favourite boy? So back in the day my favourite boy was Niall, and then I kind of had a realisation at it like last year that I'm actually a Louis girl, so Niall and Louis are my favourite. Have you even ever had a favourite boy? Yes. What was the first song you've ever heard by them? What Makes You Beautiful? Which boy do you relate to the most? Between Niall and Louis, I guess, like I'm like a mixture of both, I feel, in my opinion. Whose style do you admire the most? I love all of their styles because it's like their style and that's who they are. I personally don't relate to any of their styles more than the other because that's just not how I dress. But back in the day I did used to buy I do have a pair of red pants and lots of stripy shirts, so I guess you could say I liked Louis' style the most. What's one thing you love about Liam? One thing I love about Liam is how he's so like mature and how he never gave up. Like, he was born dead and he had no kidney for most of his life, and he just never gave up and he just kept pushing through. I guess you could say that about all of them. My favourite thing about Niall, well, one thing I love about Niall, I love Niall because he's always so like giggly and happy and smiley, and like, yeah, just like he's always joking around and not taking life too seriously, and he's my little leprechaun and I love him very much. And yeah. What's one thing you love about Louis? One thing I love about Louis? I can't think. There's just so many things popping in my head. I can't even, like, there's not one thing I love about Louis. I love everything about Louis. What's one thing I love about Harry? His eyes and his hair. I really love his long hair. Braided bun. Would you rather spend the day with all five or a week with just one? I'd rather spend, well, let's just adapt this a bit. So all four, I would love to spend the day with all four because, you know, I'd get to meet my babies. Like, one day would be enough for me. The top played songs the boys have ever sung. Probably What Makes You Beautiful overall. Like, it's still played to this day. I don't know if that's in general or me speaking, because if it's me speaking, probably like history at the moment because I really love history. What would your reaction be if you ever met them? I would probably like cry. I'd probably like hyperventilate and faint just because I'm me and that's something that would happen. Have you ever met them? No, I have never met them. Tear. My mum was actually gonna, when they came here for the Take Me Home tour 5 slots, my mum was going to let me go up to Auckland and stalk, but it ended up being in Wellington that week. So that didn't happen. What's the first piece of 1D merchandise you've ever bought? Well, I got a I got a 1D hat from my friend, so I didn't technically buy that, but I did buy a One Direction shirt this last year in Boxing Day sales, because yeah. Are you the only Directioner at your school? No. I know quite a few Directioners, so yay. And some of them are Larry shippers, like me, so I'm like, funnily enough, Amy does like One Direction. She doesn't ship Larry though, she thinks it's weird. What is your favourite song they sing on X Factor? Probably Torn, or Kids of America or something like that, Kids in America. What is your favourite music video? Probably History because it's so cute and I love it, and I think it's so cool seeing all the memories of like, it's so weird because I've been here for like every one of those like memories, and I remember like when those things happened, and like watching the video when it like happened. So that's really cool for me. So yeah. What is your favourite song off the Up All Night album? Probably Stand Up or Taken. Who do you think has the best hair? Harry. It's so luscious. Who do you think will be married first? Probably Liam. Just because, like, well, it would have been Zayn if he didn't break up with Perry, but I think it would be Liam, just because I feel like he would be the one that would settle down first. Although I would never have expected that Louis would have been the first to have a kid, and he has. Who do you think will be married last? Niall, because he's waiting for me, and I'm only 16, so legally he has to wait. What made you cry the most during a year in the making? The bit where Harry was talking about how he always wanted to be a person that didn't care about what other people think of him, and he did, and that made me cry the most. But I'm just so proud that now he's like okay with it, and he doesn't care anymore. When was the last time you seriously cried over the boys? Last night? Just because I can be like watching a video of theirs and then I just like remember that they're no longer a band. Well, they are, but they're on a break, and I'm just like, there's gonna be like no more videos this year, like no new ones, like on a scale from 1 to 100, how troubled do your friends and family think you are? Probably like 100. I don't know for sure, but probably would be it, like 100, because my friends are just like, what are you doing? And my mum is scared. I'm pretty sure she's thinking, where the fuck did I go wrong? What would you give up just to meet the boys? I would give up so much. Like, they are my happiness. They are like my world. They are like the reason I'm still breathing. So yeah, I love them a lot. But I know there's so many more people out there that are more deserving of meeting them. So I would love for like those people to meet them over me, just because that would be so cool. How do you handle it when someone says something incredibly rude about the boys? I laugh. Sometimes it's true. My favourite part is when people at school try to tell me that they're gay, and I just look at them and go, I know, and then being really confused as to why I'm agreeing, and I'm just like, bitch, most One Direction fans think they're gay. Also, one of my friends is like, 5 stars are trash, and I'm just like, they are trash. I think I'm 5 stars trash, like, legit. Like, you can say whatever you want about my boys, I probably already think that. How much money do you think you've spent on One Direction? Probably a lot, because all these CDs cost like $20. I have all these DVDs. I have the Up All Night tour, This Is Us, and I have the Where We Are tour on DVD. I have all 5 albums, and I have plus the little like One Thing EP, and I have like their t-shirt. So a lot. I don't know, but yeah, a lot. Which romances do you ship the most? Larry. Do you remember the very first picture you saved of any of the boys? No. I do believe it was one of the X Factor pictures though, if I believe rightly. What is the one thing you love about this fandom? One thing I love about this fandom is how we're all, I guess, very close with each other, and although we argue and stuff, you know, we're family at the end of the day. One thing I hate about this fandom, or don't like about the fandom, is the fact that we stopped caring about the music and we're just arguing over the boys and their choices and their decisions and who they date and yada yada yada. Like, the fact that it stopped being about the music and it started becoming about stuff like that is really petty and, in my opinion, quite disgusting. And I'm a part of it. Like, I'm not saying I'm clean or anything, because I do it too. But I think we kind of need to learn to stop arguing over that, because we can't change it, and just start loving each other again, because we are a family. How many really good friends have you made because of One Direction? Quite a few, just because it's something to bond about, and I met so many people like online on Facebook because of these boys, and I can never repay them for that, because of them I've got them, and then I've got all my, like, most of my really close friends just love One Direction, and it's so cool that because of these boys I've made friends that I wouldn't otherwise have. So that's quite scary but quite cool. Have you ever doubted any of the boys? No, but yes, like, if that makes sense. Like, I know that they tell us everything they possibly can, but I also know that there are certain things that they cannot talk about, and it just because, you know, there's things that they can't talk about. But so I have, but I haven't, if that makes any sense at all. What is your favourite interview One Direction has ever done? Probably the one on Nova where they had to watch the No Direction video, because that was funny and Louis looked really offended. Has any of the boys followed you on Twitter? No. Has any of the boys retweeted or responded to your tweet to them? No. Has any of your boyfriends or relatives followed, or has any of the boys' friends or relatives followed, retweeted or responded to you on Twitter? No. Was there one time when you were so close to the boys but weren't able to go see them? Yes. When they were in Auckland and I was in Wellington. We were in the same country. What does the term directioner mean to you? The term directioner means to me is anyone that's been here for the boys at any point in their careers, even if they don't like the boys anymore, you were a directioner and you'll never forget those moments. Like, I'm not too much of a directioner anymore, just because I'm growing up, but I'm always going to be a fan, and I'm always going to be a directioner, because just because once a directioner, always a directioner, and you can't not, you know, that's weird. Do you think you'll ever meet them? A girl can dream, but realistically, not likely. It's really not likely, but you know, there's always a small chance that I could, and I hope, you know, that I will. What little things remind you of the boys? Every time I see like a bird or like a pigeon, I think of Louis. Now whenever I eat potatoes, I think of him. Liam, whenever I see a fork, I think of him. And Harry, well, whenever I look at my really curly hair, I'm just like, Harry. Anyway, I'm gonna go now and probably go eat some food. Have a good day, have a good week. I'll see you in Wednesday's video, which will be, I don't know what, and I'll see you in next week's video. I really